Hey, hello, good evening. Today is the 22nd of November, 2022. A lot of double digits. I'm sitting in front of my laptop and I just wrote some new material. I was in thought a lot actually, and I had some thoughts about life from the last couple of years, from being psychotic, what that's like, and yeah, the differences between being okay, thinking normally, and the feeling of being lost within psychosis and turmoil and things like that. So, so I first want to start that I put a new promotion online. Four from my five ebooks are for free, starting from the 23rd of November until the 24th of November. Um, my last promotional days from the last season, in a way. If you like my vlogs, you might like my books as well. Some of them are exactly the vlogs. Uh, I write them down normally, um, and I published it. And I think it's very nice to give some insight in what it's like to be psychotic. Yeah, but also yeah, the search for God in reality sense. Because when we lose in reality sense, what is a thought? What's the feeling? And things like that. But also, is God real? And if so, how do you believe that God is? There are many views on that, and we all have different opinions about that. But from my perspective, is that's only that the afterlife is real, reincarnation is a fact, and that you go from life to life with your twin soul from planet to planet. I mean, we've been here on Earth for quite some time already. It's not that we move from planet to planet with each different life. We stay here for a while, and then afterwards we'll go to the higher places of the afterlife before going to a new place in the universe. And I think that's really beautiful. It's really cool. And because of being psychotic, I've learned to see uh, the truth in a way. Because I was mad, I was mad for 24/7. I couldn't, I lost it. I really did. My own inner feelings, the reality sense, your character, your personality. Who is you? As I say often, who is I and I? Who are you? And how does that work? And can people feel you and see you in feelings and things like that? I think that's a fact, that it's possible. But when going inside of psychosis, you turn the truth kind of things a bit, to which you lose reality sense, and then you're lost. And then that's the really tough. But I do think, for me, it's also dopamine. But I do think that we all encounter these things within one or another life, because your feeling, your emotion, your character, your personality, energy, and love, everything, that's worth it. That's life, that's reality. But you do need to see it, and when losing all of the reality, I mean, maybe you were a good person in the past, before all those psychosis and things like that, and you were in touch with God on a normal way, in a normal way, but not entirely through religion. Sometimes a bit, but not entirely, because, like I said, reincarnation is a fact, and not everyone believes in reincarnation, and that I think that's really a pity. But like I said, my journey led me through this madness of psychosis, through reincarnation, from life to life, and I'm very grateful with that, and that's why I want to talk about it. That people can learn from, yeah, maybe my inner mistakes, or learn from my mistakes from past lives. Everything you do, you have to make good eventually. So don't do bad things. And it's not that you had only bad lives, of course. You were a good person in several lives. But what if things happen on Earth in that particular time of the particular period? How did you interact with that thought and feeling in that time, zeitgeist? Like living in a war. Then they say, you can kill people and murder people, but in the way of God, you shouldn't, because it's only a zeitgeist, and God is universal love. So why would your ego twist your true reality with God, that you're yeah, the king in a way? Maybe. Mm. Alrighty, let's start. Vlog number 32. I'm listening to my new old receiver I bought from a friend a while ago. I think about 3 weeks ago, even some with JBL boxes. The sound is really, really amazing. I plugged it into my laptop. I put an album on recommended by my eldest brother called People, Hell and Angels from Jimi Hendrix. I tried out Pro Tools as well around a week ago, but am not entirely into it yet. I will do that soon though. It's ready to start anytime I want to. In the last couple of days, I have watched some series which I really did enjoy watching, mostly on Netflix. I've watched a new series called 1899 about a ship disappearing from the radar. People on it have different perceptions about reality, which makes a great storyline in my opinion. I also reached the eighth season from Seinfeld. Not sure how many there are, but I'm getting near the end, I guess. Other series I've watched were Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, Community, Blockbuster, and some stand up comedy from Dave Chappelle, Neil Brennan, and Brad Williams. Really, really great shows. I also started to watch about NDE, near death experiences, from people on YouTube. Really interesting stories, exactly what I thought about it. Some great stories in between them. With one, I was really interested because that guy talked about the feeling that you're inside rubber tires in a way. Difficult to explain in other words than that. Anyways, you hear stories from people traveling in spirit to the afterlife and coming back again because it isn't their time yet. That's what I'm talking about most of the time. Another series I enjoyed watching was Ancient Apocalypse from Graham Hancock, about the flood around 11,600 and 12,800 years ago. He showed many interesting discoveries from cities beneath the ground, about old maps and scorched soil on different places on the earth around the same time. I must say, I'm a really big, big fan of this series. Last week, I also went to see another dentist to get rid of a broken piece of root from a tooth 3 weeks ago. The shots did hurt a lot, actually. When the sedation started to kick in, I didn't feel a thing. They were drilling the hell out of my tooth, and in the next couple of days, it did hurt a lot. Especially the first day, for which I took some paracetamol against the pain. Last weekend, I had a nice evening with two friends of mine. One of them I hadn't seen for a good 3 years already. We went to an Indian restaurant near the Safati Park in Amsterdam. We had some great dishes while talking with the three of us, like buttered chicken, a lamb in spicy sauce, and a mixed grill. I even had one beer, and that was a long time ago, actually. It wasn't crowded, which did me well. I did enjoy myself. After the restaurant, we had a shisha at the shisha lounge in the west part of the city. We talked some more before going back home around midnight. For the first for the rest, I didn't do much. I was tired a lot. Tomorrow I will visit my therapist and have a somatic screening afterwards. I made two appointments right after each other. Just filled in the form I need to take with me. Most of the diseases I have, like high blood pressure, being diabetic, high cholesterol, things like that, are on the list. I watched the first match from the Dutch team against Senegal, the winner of the Africa Cup. They were in balance during most of the match, and I did enjoy myself. Some chances for both teams. Then, near the end, the Dutch scored, which was a welcome goal. Loved it. Then in extra time, they scored the second goal, and we won with 2 goals eventually. I did enjoy myself. In the evening, I watched the other games as well on YouTube. The next day, I visited my therapist around noon and had a great conversation about my artwork at the art route of my hometown in Volendam as well, nearly a month ago. He really liked them, especially the colors. We also talked about my illness, of course. I have a classical version of schizophrenia. We talked about the mental state I'm in, about the medicines I'm taking. He always says that my glass is half full instead of half empty. I take my time to get back on track again, but I'm always looking on the bright side of life. Really doing my best. I'm not a threat for people surrounding me, as sometimes does happen with other people with the same illness. We talked about spirituality in the afterlife as well, about that people can read and feel my thoughts. Sometimes that is true, but not all the time. It was interesting. I did have a lot of these weird interactions in the past. I still do, but less. The more time that fades, the more easygoing I become within myself. I'm still not there yet. That was the conclusion. Afterwards, I had a somatic screening in the same building. A nice lady took this screening from me. We had a great conversation as well, filling in some things to update my charts. She asked a lot of questions and took her time with that. Like I said, really friendly. Then I walked to a meeting point where my mother was waiting for with a cup of coffee. I had a cappuccino this time with a tosti with mozzarella and green pesto. I put on Soundgarden and I'm a bit tired. the cat. Really, really annoying, but I'm this far. I can't quit at the moment, so I will continue. Some thoughts about the mind. I had a lot of difficulty with myself, mostly about thoughts moving through myself, mostly without an inner core. I need a place to feel the inner core more often. I had the opposite effect. Projecting the feeling inside psychosis. You're offshore with all of your thoughts and feelings, turning it the other way around. That is strange to encounter. Gradations again. Being on my own makes me get back on track again. That took me many years. I'm off and on psychotic with with weird interactions within myself for more than 20 years. It's like snapping with your fingers. Poof, and time is gone. Poof, and reality sense is gone. Trying not to think about certain subjects. Because of that, I feel more tranquil. In the past, I was sucked inside these turmoils of madness with every step I could take. Reality. What is reality? Who are you? How does it work? The thoughts and feelings inside of yourself. In and out of delusional thoughts. Time inside madness. What does that mean? Hallucinating around the clock. Different things to talk about. You do need it though. A tough life when having that. I'm learning to feel and rest again. I'm a person. I matter. I'm love. Still not there yet. I do hope that I can help out other people with my stories. There are things for each and every one of us. There are many possibilities. Learning about God and the afterlife changed my mind. What is reality when being inside of madness? Reality sense. Damn, that is an expensive word sometimes. But for each and every one of us, a truth you can't deny. Losing track for a bit, but for how long? How many sidetracks did you take? Taking rest does help. Feeling the afterlife helps as well. To know the truth for 100% certain. I was gone, but I have returned. To see turmoil as reality, you need to learn the dark side. By letting that go inside of universal love, the last outcome for eternity. You can't lose again. Trying it out a couple of times and always learning new things along the way. There is no eternity in sorrow. God is love and is bigger than you are. The sad thoughts you have inside yourself, you can give to God in a way. Going into a in an ocean of love, to see energy as reality, as a map, materialistic, but also as energy around us, inside of us. The invisible parts will be shown into your life. Open yourself up in every aspect of your life. What is it you have discovered? Do maps of the mind, soul, and afterlife in every aspect of life. You should meditate actually. That really helps. But sometimes thinking you don't know how. What is meditating? How can you let it inside yourself? Like thinking about heaven or normal thoughts within yourself or interacting with other people. What is it who you are inside? Some things you learn in life, but when being really lost within yourself, who are you then? Again, what is reality? So many feelings, thoughts, emotions, etc. pass by. I'm expanding my mind in a new version, spiritual. That is for each and every one of us. If you believe it or not, we're all reincarnated souls. How lost are you within one life? Expectations, goals, thoughts, and feelings. God is true, but in a positive way, as energy of love. You can let go the bad things of life. God is true. Wow. I like that last part a lot, actually. It really did me well. But I was a bit annoyed by the cat. I hope you don't hear him, as I do. Uh, Alrighty, I would say have a really great week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.